Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the My Fair Lady event. But for this episode, we're not going to be going over these two troops. There was actually 3 troops added this week for the new Forest of Thorns event. And this is the first time a kingdom has ever gotten 3 troops. And they end up doing something a little bit different with the legendary. Normally, with legendaries in the past, you used to be able to buy them for 500 glory within the shop itself. Like, you'd be able to get these 2, and then there would also be a 500 pack with a legend in it. But I guess they found that was a little bit too much value. So what they ended up doing, which you're likely going to do with other legends whenever they release 3 troops at the same exact time, is they're going to be putting it in the event chest. As you can see here, get Sylvanimora, that is a very weird name, only with event keys, all capped, or all cap lock, I mean, this week. So unfortunately, we do have to use event keys to obtain this, so that's exactly what we're going to do now. I'm going to hunt for it right now, use a bunch of event keys, then go straight into showing some teams with them. So let's do that right now. Just head over to event keys, and this will kind of just be a drop rate example for any of you who are curious about like how much will drop. We're going to keep clicking this 50 button until we get it to mythic, so this will be an indication of what its drop rate is realistically for the most part. And there it is right there. Let's see. 0. This is looking good. We used 50 and got literally 0. Gloomleaf is so horrible. It steals armor from everything and then steals 2 attack as well. It's made to be a skull counter, but it has a higher mana cost than any skull spammer, literally any skull spammer in the entire game. So it doesn't really get to counter anything. So it's pretty useless. We did get this new one, Lady Arnorial. Her art is actually very nice. Ability is too. And here's a bunch of Thorn Knights, more than we'll ever need. We'll probably have like 1 billion of them. We're gonna send it to Mythic probably 3 times by the end of this video. What else did we get for traits? We got Arcane Dark traits, so I need more of those. There's been a lot of things requiring it. Come on, we need like 2, 3, 4. Let's see bigger drop. Really 0. We are double events in, and we still have 0. And obviously we updated because we wouldn't have been getting Lady Anera or the other one if we didn't. There we go. 2 of them. Okay, so you can see right there, new. We just got it now. 2 Sylvanimora. And we're 150 event chests in. So we still have a bit to go. Hopefully I don't go too low on this. We're already, what, 150? So let's see how far. This is 200. Okay, there we go. We at least got another 2. Okay, we're 200 in. Still need 2 more, though. We're getting some other epics there. There's a Tyree. Rwani, of course, is... There's actually 3 epics in Forest of Thorns right now. 2 legends and 3 epics. That might be, like, one of the highest kingdoms in the game. Wow, I just now noticed that. Like, there's Green Seer, that's Forest of Thorns. There's the new one, Lady Oneria. She's Forest of Thorns. And, of course, everyone knows Rwani. That's... the epic you get for completing the quest line. So what was that again? 200? We still need 2 more. Come on. So of course we get 0. Okay, 300. At least we're getting some arcanes too. I don't really need the runics that much. We probably have like 200 Thorn Knights right now. I haven't been keeping track. So that's 250. Come on, this is 300. Double Gloomleaf, not at all what we need. I'd trade like 10 Gloomleafs just for one of these dragons right now. Okay, what is this? 350? I've already lost count and we're taking so many. There we go. At least we got 2 more. Well, this is why I and a couple other people have kind of been complaining about in the forum because, of course, getting 1 wouldn't be too bad. Getting 1 would probably only take 50 to 100 event keys. But every time they do this, it's going to take somewhere from about 150 to 300. Actually, we just took 350 event keys just to get it up to Mythic. So definitely not cheap to do. Plus, you're going to need the arcane traits to do it. It's kind of like with a kingdom. The only thing different with a kingdom, though, is whenever a new kingdom comes out, there's only ever 1 to 2 legends in that kingdom to begin with. But whenever they add a legend to a kingdom through this method, there's already going to be existing legends in that kingdom by default. So it's going to be harder to obtain. They should really increase the drop rate like slightly more for the new legend if they're going to be adding it in this method. But anyways, that's my rant on it. Let's ascend it. Let's upgrade it. Let's use it. Let's put it in teams. We got it. We're going to use it. It's actually one of the better troops in the game right now. It's full AoE, or I'll show you guys in a second. I haven't even showed his stats, so I don't believe you. Forest of Thorns, where are you? It's alphabetical order, and I can't even find it. We already have her. Well, actually, in doing so, we got her up to Legendary, halfway through Legendary. 6 more, and she'll get to Mythic. We'll just buy the rest of them in the shop. Obviously, not going to event key it. We already did 350. And yeah, we have so many Thorn Knights right now that it's ridiculous. We can just keep picking this up until he's a Mythic, probably. Oh wait, he's definitely gonna reach Mythic. He's reaching Mythic. Yeah, I was right. We could do it like 3 times over. We still have 105 copies of him left, and he just came out like 2 hours ago. But the main reason we're here is what is that name? Sylvanimora. That is a very complicated name that I will probably keep saying wrong. But there we go. A mythic Sylvanimora. Only 350 event chests later. I forget the exact math on that. That's like what? 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 gems? Somewhere around that. I do that in about a week though, so it's not too big of a hit at least. And now of course we'll trade it up. Hopefully I have the arcanes for this. Okay, yeah, I do. I still have 44 left. that would have been horrible if I didn't have the arcanes. But that's the other problem with it too. Not too big a deal though. Normally they follow up events whenever they do like a legend, like a kingdom or something like this with the trait stone eventually in the event not too far after. So let me actually go over the troop for any of you that might not have checked it on anywheres. It explodes an entire column, so similar to the flesh golem, which explodes an entire row. But instead of just healing, it deals damage to all enemies. The same amount that, what's his name? Oh, I completely forget his name because it's another weird name. Van Barak, actually, I already remember, even though it's not already here. Van Barak ends up doing the same, deals 16 to all, but it does something else, of course. So it's on the same damage as that dragon. But if we just go back to Forest of Thorns, one different thing about it, though, is it is actually a legendary, which is why we had to do it in event keys and all that other jazz. And it has Dragon Bond, huge, which is a pretty good combo, a lot of HP there. But of course, what really makes this a viable troop is Dragon Vines. It is entangle the first enemy on 4 times or higher gem matches, which is huge against anything that, pretty much any skull spam team. If it's not leading an impervious troop, this is going to completely counter them very, very well. You just keep entangling their first troop and they won't be able to do any skull damage, especially with the buff to entangle in 2.01 on the PC mobile version, which prevents attack from cleansing it like it used to. Now you can only cleanse it off with time, or if you actually use a cleanse on the person affected. But since you can reapply it so easily, even something like a Mercy or a single cleanse on a team isn't really going to be able to keep it off. So unless you're facing something with impervious or immunity to entangle, so a Sylvanimora will definitely be very, very strong against them. So let's show some teams with it. I already have 3 placed that don't have them in it yet. Let me just... I used Brian the Lucky to place hold for him. You'll never need one lucky thing, which is why I didn't go up to getting additional one. You'll never need more than 1 Sylvanimora and a team. The main reason you'll need him for is, of course, his Dragon Vines. His mana cost is a little bit high, and his other traits aren't really that needed in bulk. So you mainly just need 1 of him for a, of course, his legendary trait, if you can even trade it that high. Him without the legendary trait, I would say, is actually a little bit bad. Mostly because it takes so long to get mana. Of course, exploding a gem is going to give a lot of mana back, but that initial mana might be a little bit hard against mana drains and other hard counters to high mana, like Queen Mab and stuff. But yeah, let's just go straight into PvP and try these out. Haven't even done any PvP yet. It's only like 2 hours into the event. Just woke up. It's like, what time is it right now? It's like 5 a.m. I think. But yeah. Why am I on this team? Go right over to the first team. I'm actually just using a Queen Mab loop team. Of course, if they have impervious or immune to mana burn, you might want to watch out. Like right there, they have Manticore. I'm not going to repick it, though. We'll easily be able to kill it, even though they have a Manticore. But we're going to try this out. It's just the normal Queen Mab loop team with a little bit more AoE. The Sylvanimora does do full AoE damage, so it is really good in full AoE decks like this and others. So I'll be showing another one right after this one. So let's just try getting mana. It is going to drain us right off the bat. I'm actually going to take yellow here because I don't want it stunning my Sylvanimora. That would be completely pointless. The whole point we're using it right now is so we can show his Entangle and everything else. So there we go. Took out that. Not that big a deal. Taking out our Valkyrie. Of course, we won't get our bonus 50% souls, so not too big a worry here. I only have like 220,000 more souls.
Mana surge. Mana surge.
There we go. I was about to say, we still didn't get an Entangle, but that was really nice right there. I'll just leave those skulls for him to take. Take these reds instead.
Surge.
And he has 2 skull effects. He does Death Touch on skull damage and Frozen on skull damage. And since he's entangled, he's going to be doing neither of those, luckily. So right here, I'll just do a single Queen Mab cast that'll hit everything other than the Manticore, of course, because that Impervious. Impervious is really strong against Queen Mab. And a lot of things, obviously, since it's immune to so much. Okay, let's just use it on... should we do it on green? Yeah, let's just do it on green real quick. And then I'll explode the board. And he's like perma entangled right here. Over and over again. So right here, instead of taking those skulls, or whoop, forgot about that. Instead of taking these skulls right here, we're probably just gonna destroy them with this. Because obviously the Manticore is going to attack next turn, so we don't want it taking skulls. So we'll finally get to cast this. It'll destroy a column, do full AoE damage, and we'll get all the mana for what it destroys. We just got Valkyrie up with it. Got an extra turn, got skulls. And we can almost take out the Manticore. This actually has slightly lower attack than I thought it would. It's at 22, which is the same as Queen Mab actually. I believe the highest base attack in the game is 29. So it's kind of like mid-range average. It does have a higher HP than it has armor, but that's also assisted by the fact that it's dragon bonded huge. So it's going to be somewhat good against true damage and stuff as well. Right here, I'm just going to take the skulls, and then our next cast on it's going to be able to kill. I do want to not convert out green or brown. We're going to be needing those, obviously, since we can't use Queen Mab to kill out the Manticore. So I'm just going to cast this. Doesn't matter that we're not getting an extra turn.
Mana surge.
It has mana drain, so let's just get rid of that. And of course, the Impervious Manticore is still surviving, but we'll take it out right here. Maybe get one more Valkyrie cast off just for the souls in case we didn't get max. Always nice getting the extra souls. We also don't have the... since we're stunned, for any of you that don't know, if... Mercy or any troop with a necromancy trait or the other trait that does 25% gold, I forget what it's called, merchant, I think. If they're stunned at the end of the battle, you actually don't get the bonus. So we won't be getting 50% more souls this match, which is why I wanted to get the additional Valkyrie cast off, because that will bring us closer to max, if not max. So yeah, as you can see right there, normally my max would be 90, but because we were stunned on our Valkyrie, we didn't get that extra 50% to push it over to my max of 90. So it's the max per match is 40 plus your VIP and armor bonus. You also get a difficulty bonus if you're doing something other than PvP. But there's the first battle with it. I still have 2 more teams to show. Next, we're going full AoE, if I'm not mistaken, against goblins, it looks like, by the Boar Rider right there. Yep, all goblins, of course. Of course! I'm running this with Behemoth, Sylvanimora, Tacet, and of course, Hero with Creeping Death. I mean, Sorcerer with Creeping Death. Well, it's Hero too, but of course, this is a very strong weapon class combo. I did a whole video on it, and this is a great team you can use with it. One other good thing about Tacet is it converts blues to brown. So once Behemoth dies, if Behemoth even dies, you're still covering all the colors because Tacet is just going to be converting that blue that you no longer use into brown that you need for Sylvanimora, which you can also just explode. So hopefully this team goes pretty good. It's all physical damage AoE, so if you're up against Impervious or anything like that, that's not going to be a big deal at all. And I completely forgot what banner I just set. I really need to pay attention to that, Mar. Like, I set them initially, what I think will be good. Based on this team, I'd probably say I set it to green-yellow. Green because I want to be able to get Sylvanimora up when Behemoth is blocking it. And yellow because we're already getting a bonus from Firelink. So with the +1 on yellow, if we get a surge on both yellow and red, that'll be full mana. And same as our purple, we're getting +1 on Magic Link, so that'll be 7 mana. So if we get a surge on both, that's 14 mana. So right here, we'll just take the extra turn. We get Vines right off the bat. Don't need to worry about any skulls. And it doesn't have any cleanse either. And of course, it only entangles the first troop, which I actually find beneficial. Some people were mentioning like random troop and stuff like that. But entangle only works if it's on the first troop. There's only like 1 or 2 troops that even scale based on a troop being entangled. So I actually prefer it only being on the first. It really helps to counter anything that's using cleanse or something like that, like Mercy or any of the other very common cleanses in the game. Like, but I can kind of see the redundancy. We just entangled it 3 times for when we could have had others entangled. But I still prefer it on just the first group. I still feel it's more viable that way. Let's see here. Take the yellows.
Surge.
Take brown, and that's our Behemoth up. Unfortunately, we don't have a single drop of mana on our Sylvanimora right now. I'll use this and hopefully get Taraxis up, and I'll be able to do something. Yeah, we got it. We only need 2 mana on it. We also got Creeping Death up, which will place 2 death marks. I'll probably do that first. I'll let it take the skulls for obvious reason of it'll do nothing, assuming it stays entangled. Well, we just got a first turn death mark all the way at the bottom there. Believe what was even there? I didn't even remember. Was it just a goblin shaman? I think it was goblin rocket. I don't even remember what was there. Too early in the morning still for me. There we go. We'll just do that. We're already looping. We already got both of them up. Actually, we already have all 3 of them up. Almost have all 4 of them up. 12 mana from all 4. I'll re-entangle it. I'll leave those skulls there. Let's get our hero up. We'll just take Explode this row. That'll get our hero up for us, and that'll be the game. Doesn't matter what we cast, it's entangled, so it does nothing. And let's be fun. Let's kill it with Creeping Death. Miss. Yeah, definitely a fun troop to use. And of course, I couldn't show a dragon without doing a, well, obviously, an all dragon team against, against a team that's very counter to this all dragon team I just made. I don't normally use Borealis. In most instances, almost all instances, Celestacia is better than Borealis, but I figured I'd try it with Emperina. It does do triple skull damage to frozen troops, and with Emperina, that's going to be a huge buff. We do have some AoE. We have Ven Barak and Sylvanimora, who's both doing 17 damage. They have the extra +1 for having 4 dragons. So we are going to try this. We could actually lose this, which would be pretty sad. The main reason being he does have a Gorgotha and Queen Mab. Queen Mab's going to be completely horrible against this team due to the high mana cost. And Gorgotha, obviously, we have 2 troops that are basically focused around skull damage only. So that 75% reduction is going to completely kill us there. We do have him entangled though, so we don't really need to worry about him doing anything at least. And same as when we get up to the Vinoxia, we're not going to have to worry about its attack damage because we're just going to entangle it probably immediately. So right here, I am going to go for the brown. He'll obviously take the skulls and do nothing because we're not going to get that much benefit from skulls. So let's just let him take it for now. I do want to explode at least 3 purples right here so we get enough purple to be able to cast our Ven Barak. Yeah, Ven Barak. So let's just use it right here. We'll get some damage off. We also get 1 damage, of course, for every skull we destroy. So he just got a frozen off on Emperina. We can cleanse it at least once if it ends up, if it does do that to something important. Hopefully he stays entangled. I'm gonna let him take that skull. Do some AoE damage. There's a 30% chance that will disease all. It feels like it's a 0% chance many times, which is why I don't normally use Van Barrack. There's a lot of things that are better, especially the Mythic now. You can just use Plague if you happen to have it, which is essentially the same thing. Just not a dragon, and nor consistent, but still. Okay, it's still entangled, which is actually amazing. Normally would have cleansed off by now. We're getting pretty lucky with that. We used it again. Still no disease to everything. That would have been very useful. I didn't freeze it yet, so I'm kind of hesitant to take those skulls. We also just re-entangled, so it doesn't even matter. He did cleanse it, but of course, so now that he's re-entangled, it doesn't matter that he cleansed. So there we got everything up except our Emperor. I should probably try getting that up. Didn't get a single cast on it yet. We could take those reds for it. Not too big a deal that we do. I guess I'll do it right now. We could have just killed them with 2. I do want to get like 1 attack off of this thing though. Gosh. Didn't even get to show like this good combo yet. Technically it's a good combo. Depends what you're using on. Obviously you wouldn't want to use on a Gorgotha like I am. Normally. But we'll buff it up. I'll also take off the poison to give him a full heal. So all the way back up. We didn't get a freeze off though yet. So I guess we'll just let him take those skulls. I wanted to try doing at least 1 skull damage with the triple damage, but it doesn't look like we're going to get it at this rate. I'll just use another explosion like this all the way over on, I think, the side here. And it will survive a turn. It is going to get a Gloom Leaf off. Gloom Leaf, if it can cast, it is decent, but true damage kills it off. And it's never going to beat a Skull Spawner to casting because it costs 17 mana. So its main purpose it can't even serve. So let's just do this real quick. Now we won't kill it because it does have that extra armor boost. Still a fairly useless legend though. And now we'll have to just get our mana back up. I wish we could get 1 skull, but it did actually cleanse off that freeze. So I'm not even going to do triple, even though it doesn't even matter. We're going to kill it 1 shot regardless. So let's just get this cast off. Use on the skulls for more damage. And next damage at all will kill it. Unless it Gloom Leafs again. Unless it Gloom Leafs again. Now it's going to be annoying because I called it bad. But it's just going to take the skulls, waste its turn. And we're going to get the kill with the Borealis. And that is the new Sylvanimora legendary troop. Unfortunately, like I said in this video, you can only get it, and like the thing said, you can only get it from event chests, which kind of gives event chests new value that it didn't have in the past. It'll be in all chests starting on sometime in September, they mentioned. But currently, it is exclusive only, as the event says, to event keys only. But, and it did take us 350, but if you only want to get 1, you could probably get it in 50 to 100 event chests. I've heard some people getting it in only 10. Of course, the chances of that happening is, of course, a bit lower. 50 is a pretty safe bet, but as you saw, even in this video, I did not get it in my first 50. So, do with this information what you do. That's just the data that I have on it. And best of luck hunting it for any of you that do want it. It is a very cool troop, especially if you can get it traded. It, of course, cost 16 Arcane Forest Tradestone, the brown-green Tradestone, plus all the other Tradestones, if you want to get it all the way up to Legendary Trait. But that is the Sylvanimora. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.